Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today we have some interesting stuff. Well, not too interesting, not as big as the Trump raid, but definitely some more happier times because we all know about the great Hollywood movies and how they're not doing so great. Well, this is another one that is also not doing great either. And the trailer is called They Them. Yes, you heard that correctly, They Them. It is obviously a very, very, very woke movie, and we're going to see on how well it is doing. Surprise, it's not doing well at all. Explosive and preachy Kevin Bacon LGBTQ thriller They Them gets eviscerated by critics and viewers. Oh, that's not really a surprise at all. I mean, honestly. The LGBTQ slasher horror film They Them was created for a specific audience, but even the most left-leaning critics say it's a total mess. They Them, a Peacock original, stars Kevin Bacon as the head of a conversion camp that's being plagued by a psycho killer. Per Rotten Tomatoes, several queer campers join Bacon as Owen Whistler for a week of programming intended to help them find a new sense of freedom. As the camp's methods become increasingly more psychologically unsettling, the campers must work together to protect themselves. When an unidentified axe murderer starts claiming victims, things get even more dangerous. The thriller currently has a 29 through 100 critic score and 15 through 100 audience rating after its August 5th release. Ooh! That's after 4 days, too. That's not doing so great. They Them never connects on a gut level, as a horror movie should. It's too somber and plotting, a message movie delivered in a drab package, Los Angeles Times wrote in its review. CNN called out writer-director John Logan for failing to get the message across. Their reviewer said the story at various times feels creepy, exploitive, and preachy without becoming particularly tense or scary. Fred Topel from UPI said, as an out-gay filmmaker, Logan may have something sincere to both about an LGBTQ tactics and the slasher movie genre. Unfortunately, combining them ends up sabotaging both sides of the story. The Daily Wire contributor Christian Toto said the film is terrible to the core and doesn't live up to the standards of the horror genre. Well, honestly, most horror movies are usually like B-rated or lower movies. They're really usually not all that great. So, I mean, you kind of don't expect kind of the best type of movies coming from these things, but of course, we all know if you sprinkle a little bit of wokeness in there, it makes the woke movie about 5 to 10 times worse. So, there you have it. Audience may need post-it notes on their screens to remind them it's a horror movie, he wrote. Added clunky romances into the dialogue that would make a Hallmark movie a scribed cringe and an embarrassing dearth of scares, and you've got a missed opportunity on an epic scale. Like other critics, he calls out the cheesy camp sing-along to a Pink song as an especially cringe-worthy moment. Toto concludes that the movie is woke to its core, but that isn't its fatal flaw. It's just cartoonish, scare-free, and so intent on empowerment, it skips on every horror movie essential. Most critics hated it, but Gary M. Kramer from Salon had high praise for the thriller. It describes They Them as a smart and savvy film that demonstrates the value of putting queer heroes in the horror genre, as well as the damaging effects of conversion therapy and not allowing people to be who they are. They Them is currently streaming on Peacock, which I'm not really surprised on that is some of these things. Well, one thing that I didn't realize a lot about these Discovery Plus, Disney, and Marvel, which is, again, part of Disney, they are really embracing a lot of the woke stuff, and it's not going so well to them. I wonder when Daily Wire exactly is going to be releasing their kids' stuff to the audience. I realize that it's been about a couple of months or so, or a few months rather, since they announced this type of project, which they spent $100 million on kid level stuff. So I wonder when that's going to be released, because we need it more than ever, so we don't get woke, terrible movies like Buzz Lightyear that essentially wants to indoctrinate kids and be honestly quite terrible. So hopefully they release that soon. But we also have people fighting back against this type of woke stuff. It's just in the process. Remember, guys, these type of things take time. You don't make perfection in a day. So I digress. Things will be coming up most likely in 2024 of some point. So this doesn't work. I know Tim Pool, aka Tim Cast, is working on some stuff themselves. So we will see on how well that is going there. However, let's go look at the actual stuff. Now, here's the trailer here of They Them. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, oh, okay, well, what's going on here? We have the like ratio, the 4.2K, and an 18K dislike ratio. So, yeah, this type of deal here is not looking too great, I would see. So, yeah, this is not looking too great. 18K, we're seeing that they're not doing so hot with this type of movie, or show, rather. And, they weren't lying about the 29% and the 15% score.
He knows that nothing will begin unless he speaks.
So,
And that nothing will change.
we have this type of, so we have these type of movies that we're seeing here that are not doing super great. So I'm not quite sure what's really going on here in this type of aspect, but I do know that this movie is not of the greatest nature that we could possibly see here. So we're seeing these constant movies of woke stuff constantly failing and not doing hot, not doing well, and this is because they were trying to add more woke stuff into it. Now, hopefully we can get people that are more into the game, more fan-made stuff, maybe to try to get into movies in general. The problem is a lot of the licensing issue. I may believe Nick Rekieta went about this, where there's a licensing to where companies don't let people to make stuff, which is a problem. Because honestly, without that type of licensing and all the protections for these companies, it will create more of a kind of a bigger issue for them, because people will be able to make some more Star Wars stuff, more of these other things more freely, and sell it so that people can make, so that way they can make good movies. This is the reason why, because Disney and these companies know that once Disney knows that once they make this type of, once they have this type of stuff, people can take it and make something better, and they don't have a monopoly over it. This is part of the reason why Disney is buying a lot of movies and shows, because they can have a monopoly over a lot of this stuff, because it's a pretty big deal for them to keep this going. But again, Disney's not doing so well, because a lot of the movies are actually kind of losing money. They're going to have to come up with new ideas for movies. And let me tell you, it's not going to be great, because a lot of these movies are going to make them fail. Really, they're just holding on, desperately holding on, mind you, the Marvel series, and that's not doing so well either. Phase 4, Phase 5, and Phase 6. The reason why they have to have so many phases is because this is their moneymaker, and they won't be making a lot of money for a lot of these things very soon. Alright, guys. That's pretty much it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.